Seriously, why are you even working in retail? Is customer service a big joke to you? I need help. Well, beyond customer service, I need help. So, you can tell something set me off the other day while I was out shopping. You betcha. I'm sure you can relate to this lack of customer service, be it in retail or on the phone. Don't get me started on complex phone menus and phone agents, or the lack thereof. That's a whole other video. This is concentrating basically on retail. Alrighty, I'm going to tell you a story. Hang on a second, we need a musical oh, my glasses just fell. Musical interlude. Hang on. You ready? Okay, that'll do. All right, I got to pause it here because I have to bend down and get my glasses. Excuse me. Okay, I got my glasses. Here's the story. I stopped in at a secondhand children's store. I was looking for something very specific, Minions. As you can see back there above the chicken, this is it's backwards to me right there, this little guy, he's a Minion. I love Minions. Banana. They make me laugh. Anyway, so they sell clothing, they sell toys, they sell books. And in this economy, the way kids outgrow stuff, I think it's a great idea. Okay, so I walk in the store, nobody says hi. There's 3 women working in there and 1 customer buying clothes. And 2 of the girls, I call them girls, they're ladies. I'm old, everybody's a girl. 2 of the ladies are at a counter and they're sorting stuff. The other one's just walking around. So no one says anything. I kind of look like maybe I need help. I don't know. Okay, that's a joke in itself. Yeah, you need help, lady. Anyway, so I said, I'm looking for Minion stuff, toys, and blah, blah, blah. And one lady that wasn't doing anything says, well, I think we have a bag of them at the back. Okay. And the toys, she says, back in the toys. Okay. So she apparently wasn't going to walk back there with me. So I went to the back and I looked around. They had some shelves with the bags had the smaller stuff in it, and then the medium-sized stuff and large stuff were on shelves. So I was looking at the shelves, and I'd move something, to see what was underneath. Honest to God, every time I moved something, it started to make a noise and wouldn't shut up. Whoa, 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 like, oh, crud monkeys. So I looked at the bags twice, 3 times. I went over all the bags. There were a lot of bags of toys. I couldn't find anything Minion. So I tootled back up to the front of the store, and the lady that had talked to me is sitting on a stool by the cash, which is fine. I think retail clerks should sit if they have to, need to, because standing all day is hard on your back. And I said I couldn't find it, and she said, "Oh, you couldn't find it?" And I said, "No, I couldn't find it." And there was no effort on her part to say, "Oh, well, here, let me go back with you and see if I can help you." Help you? You see my sign? May I help you, customer service person? The other 2 ladies, they were still sorting their stuff. And the other customer, she was still looking for clothes. No help at all. So I left. Didn't buy anything. Probably won't go back there anytime near in the future. And I was kind of grumbling something under my breath that maybe, as I was out the door, that maybe the clerk did want to hear. Anyway, what are you going to do? I don't know. So I have a little customer service story. Doesn't involve me. One of my cousins got a treadmill for her birthday last year, and she's been using it for months, but she doesn't feel like she's getting anywhere. So she called the customer service line, and they were no help. They just gave her the runaround. All right. So where are we here? Oh, the other part of the story. So I had 2 places I was going to go. I went to the children's secondhand store where I got the bad customer service, and I probably won't go back, and they will never make another sale or make any sale off of me. But they might, I don't know, maybe in a few months' time I'll forget all about it and go there. Anyway, geez, I just snorted, excuse me. That's not ladylike, Perdie. So I went to another secondhand store, and it's only been opening. It's been open since 2 months, maybe 2 months, 3 months. I've been twice, and so I went there, and I walked in the door. Young man at the cash, because the cash is up at the front, says hello to me. Whatever. Great. Hello. Have you been here before? Yeah, I have. She says, oh, that's wonderful. Can I tell you what our specials are? Because apparently they have a special. That's actually, a lot of thrift stores do this, where they have different color price tags on different items. And one day, the blue tag will be 25% off. Another day, the green tag. And that day, it was the orange tag. It was 25% off. Excuse me. Wonderful. Thank you very much. There's something else. I think it had to do with furniture, because they carry a bit of furniture. But I don't remember that, because I was looking for furniture. Because we all know what I was looking for. Banana! My minions. And jewelry, because this place has some, not the best jewelry, but some jewelry. I like my jewelry. So I was wandering around the store. I went over to the jewelry, and the jewelry's up near the cash. Anyway, I could hear the cash because I wasn't that far from it. And there were a couple of different older ladies, actually, that had come up to go through the cash with this gentleman. His name was Lucas. He's a young guy. Anyway, he was so pleasant with those ladies, just the nicest guy. Anyway, so I couldn't, well, yeah, actually, did I? Yes, I did find something. I did find a couple of somethings, earrings, I think. Doesn't matter. It's like the old guy. Doesn't matter, Perdie. Get on with the story. Okay, so then I was looking around other stuff in the store, and there was something I wanted, but it was up high. So I went over to the nice gentleman and said, could you pull something off a shelf so I could look at it? And he did. Really nice. Pulls it down. Turns out I liked it, and I was going to buy it. So then he went back to the front, waited on customers or whatever he was doing. Then I went to the toy section. I couldn't find any Minion stuff, though. I was very disappointed. But I found a couple of little stuffies that I thought were pretty cute, like this guy here, the ring-tailed lemur, and then another funny little one that I got. But the lemur didn't have a price tag. So I went to the front and said, could you give me a price on this? No problem. And not only that, it was a really good price, $2. Anyway, so I looked at a few more things, went out back to the front, paid for my stuff, spent $10, got a few things. I was happy. Lucas and I had a very nice chat. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was very pleasant. And I left with, a smile on my face. And I will definitely go back there, probably more often than I was, just because, I found what I wanted. Well, no. I found stuff. I didn't get what I wanted. Secondhand Minion stuff's really hard to find. And it was a nice experience because he was so pleasant. Okay, so let's see what else we got to talk about. Now, I know some of you don't like to chit-chat. The old guy's kind of like that. Goes in, comes out, doesn't want to talk to people. Anyway, I love to chit-chat. Sometimes you meet the funniest, most pleasant people. And often they have good ideas, especially if you're at the grocery store and you're talking about food. But, okay, this isn't about customer service, but I have a public service announcement, a PSA. I like to be helpful. This one is very simple. When you're driving, use your turn signals. It lets people know you're not telepathic. So what brings a person into your store? Price, quality, choice, convenience. Those are 4 of the main things. You might go to a store you don't particularly like, but you know that you're going to get what you want at the best price. Maybe go to a store that you don't normally shop at, but you know that the store will have what you want. And sometimes you just go someplace because it's convenient. I mean, there's lots of reasons. So I have a friend that works in retail off and on. She does it for pin money. Does anybody actually use that expression anymore? Pin money? I don't know. Anyway, she said she was working at a clothing store. And there was a lady in the store looking at different things. And she came up to my friend and she said, do you have this in extra medium? Well, my friend said that she and this lady had a bit of a discussion about what extra medium was. Oh, to be a fly on the wall. Would have been interesting. turns out it's something between, it's like extra small and extra large, except it's extra medium. I don't know either. Anyway, I had a funny thing at a store. It was a clothing store. I was in the back trying some stuff on, and I came out. It didn't. You ever been in one of those change rooms? There's no mirrors, and you have to go out and look at the mirrors that they have outside the change room. Anyway, so I was doing that, and I'm looking in the mirrors, and there's a clerk fiddling around, and she sees me, and she comes over, and she's like, "Oh dear, those jeans look terrible, and I'll go get you another pair." Before I could say anything, she spun around, and she was out on the sales floor, and I stopped, and I kind of went, "But I'm trying on sweaters." How rude. Bad customer service can ruin a company's reputation. You know, you might get someone in once, but to have them come back, good customer service is wonderful. Now, that's a blanket statement. Some people don't care. Anyway, so I could just go also, into a diatribe, which like I maybe have already, about customer service and why it's happening. And so here's some suggestions. Got my glasses on, I got a list. Staff is overworked and the store is understaffed. Yeah, that's right. You have bad training. What else? A bad company culture. They don't feel appreciated by their employer. They aren't getting enough hours and have to work another job, maybe 2 more jobs. And their customers abuse them, that they get yelled at. I don't know why. And in a lot of cases, I think some people just aren't suited to doing customer service, that perhaps they should literally find another job. Anyway, what else have we got on here? Oh yeah, so then I write, so Miss Smarty Pants, what's the solution? Okay, so I am not an expert at this, but look, I have another list. So more staff, obviously. The companies are watching their bottom lines. They got to answer the shareholders. More training, which can be a problem because that costs time and money. And a lot of retail jobs, staff turnover is pretty high. They need better hiring practices, I think, to get good staff. And can use mystery shoppers to find out how their staff is doing when they have a customer come in. Anyway, I'm just spitballing some ideas here. I'm sure if I dug deep in my memory, I could find dozens of other examples of bad customer service, but I also get good customer service, like I did with Lucas at the other thrift store that I went to. So if you've seen other videos of mine, you know that this is when I ask you to leave some comments. Have you had bad service, good service? Maybe you work at a store. Maybe you've got something to say about the customers that abuse you. Let me know down in the comments. Be very nice, and we can talk about it in the comments. Anyway, in the meantime, I have places to go, people to see. I've got dogs that need to be let out, but wait for the riddle. What is the difference between an ignorant customer service agent and an apathetic one? I don't know, and I don't care. See you next time.